Is the WNBA final spotlight bright enough without Caitlin Clark? After Game 2, questions about attendance, ticket prices, and TV ratings took center stage alongside the on-court action featuring Aya Wilson, DeWanna Bonner, and Alyssa Thomas. Join the discussion. Do you think the league over-relies on one star for viewership? Comment with your take, share this report with fellow fans, and subscribe for more women's basketball coverage and WNBA news alerts. The lead-up to Game 2 framed the night as a showcase for elite women's basketball. The Las Vegas Aces, with Aya Wilson at the peak of her powers, were expected to set the tone and drive the excitement. Across from them, the Connecticut Sun's veteran pairing of Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner brought the toughness and discipline that define playoff basketball. On paper, it was a finals matchup that had everything: an MVP, powerhouse defenses, contrasting styles, and primetime stakes. Yet the atmosphere told a different story. As the broadcast opened, viewers noticed the cameras favoring close angles. When the lenses did pull back, rows of empty seats were visible. Clips and stills captured sections of the arena that were not full, and those images traveled fast on social media. Fans began posting screenshots of ticket listings, pointing to prices in the $35 to $50 range just hours before tip-off. Hardly the scarcity or premium pricing typically associated with a championship event. The optics were jarring for a league that has emphasized growth, rising attendance, and historic interest all season long. Inside the arena, the energy felt uneven. Music blared, the in-house entertainment worked through its cues, and the game operations team did its best to inject buzz. But compared to the electric scenes many fans associate with sellout playoff basketball, the vibe didn't match the stakes. Commentators stayed focused on matchups: Wilson's scoring zones versus Thomas's defensive reads, Bonner's spacing against the Aces switches, but the crowd presence was impossible to ignore. For a finals game, the environment appeared subdued. Aya Wilson's body language reflected that reality. The two-time MVP has built her reputation on intensity and composure, and her leadership has often lifted her team in difficult stretches. Midway through the second quarter, however, television shots highlighted a different side. Wilson looked frustrated, shaking her head after missed opportunities and reacting to whistles with rare irritation. Courtside observers noted towel slams and animated huddles. None of that is unusual in a high-stakes contest, but paired with the low-decibel backdrop, it fed a storyline that extended beyond the scoreboard: the disconnect between the moment and the mood. Online, the conversation moved quickly from on-court tactics to demand signals. Fans debated why a WNBA Finals game could still have swaths of open seating when the league's social channels have amplified record-setting numbers throughout the year. Some argued the scheduling window was tough. Others pointed to economics, saying dynamic pricing and last-minute adjustments confused buyers. But the most common theme was straightforward and controversial: when Caitlin Clark is not involved, casual interest drops off sharply. That comparison, fair or not, dominated the thread. During the regular season, Clark and the Indiana Fever played in front of packed crowds across the country, often selling out road venues and driving spikes in local gate receipts. Secondary market prices for certain matchups surged well into the hundreds, and national TV broadcasts featuring Clark set viewership highs for modern women's basketball. Fans applied that lens to the finals and concluded that if the Fever had reached this stage, tickets would be scarce and the cheapest seats would start far above $300, with courtside packages climbing into the thousands. Whether those projections are precise is secondary to the message. Clark's presence has reshaped demand patterns, and the finals offered a real-time test of how robust that interest is when she's not on the floor. That reality was not lost on the Aces superstar. Wilson has addressed the media imbalance at various points during the season, acknowledging the intense focus on the rookie while reiterating her respect for the growth the frenzy has brought to the league. But Game 2 amplified the contrast. While Wilson battled for position and the Aces tried to impose their tempo, the discourse online fixated on why the arena wasn't full and whether the broadcast audience would mirror the in-seat lull. Early, informal ratings chatter mirrored those concerns. Fans recalled that a nationally televised Aces Fever semi-final earlier in the playoffs drew an audience around 1.8 million viewers, and speculated whether a finals broadcast without the Fever would reach even half that number. As preliminary figures for Game 2 began to circulate, the tone turned sharper. Posts suggested a notable decline relative to Clark-led games earlier in the postseason, reigniting the debate about how the league measures progress and where it should direct its marketing efforts. The narrative didn't stop at attendance and ratings. A separate thread questioned the league's personality hierarchy and how likability narratives shape coverage. The headline matchup featured Wilson, Thomas, and Bonner, three of the most accomplished, competitive, and polarizing figures in women's basketball. Social media framed that dynamic in stark terms, with some users labeling them unlikable, a subjective and unfair shorthand that often attaches to dominant, vocal stars in any sport. The critique, while loud in certain corners, obscured the substance on display: elite help defense, intelligent screening angles, and punishing rebounding battles that define championship basketball. Still, perception matters in a product driven by engagement. Bonner's length and scoring versatility, Thomas's point-forward orchestration and physical interior defense, Wilson's two-way supremacy, these are premium storylines. Yet the discussion kept returning to an unavoidable comparison point: the Caitlin Clark effect on WNBA attendance, ticket prices, and television ratings. The finals became a referendum, however briefly, on whether the league's growth can be sustained when its most viral draw is absent. That tension raises structural questions for the WNBA's next phase. How can the league turn a surge in interest around one star into consistent demand for marquee events across the board? How should schedules and promotional windows be designed to maximize both presence and revenue? What is the right balance between elevating rookies who move numbers and honoring veterans who have delivered enduring excellence on the court? From a marketing standpoint, several themes emerged from the fallout of Game 2. First, authenticity continues to outperform forced hype. Fans are hyper-attuned to atmospheres that feel organic. Efforts to manufacture excitement in the building, loud music, stacked timeout programming, cannot replace the natural energy of a full house. Second, transparency around ticketing helps. Confusion about pricing tiers and last-minute availability is solvable and matters more during postseason runs when the stakes are highest. Third, star equity must be broadened. Spotlighting Wilson, Thomas, Bonner, and others with consistent storytelling, behind-the-scenes features, tactical breakdowns, personal narratives, can convert casual followers into invested viewers even when a phenomenon like Clark is not on the floor. For the athletes, there is a parallel challenge. Channel frustration in ways that expand the audience rather than overshadow the game. Wilson's competitive edge is part of her appeal, and her influence is central to the Aces' identity. The same is true for Thomas's relentless pace and Bonner's shot-making. When the camera lingers on visible exasperation, it risks reframing the night away from the basketball itself. That's not a player problem alone, it's a broadcast and narrative problem the league and media share, but it's part of how the product is perceived. The online discourse did produce constructive threads. Coaches and former players weighed in with tactical praise, noting Thomas's command of the half-court against switching defenses, Bonner's timing off pin-downs, and Wilson's interior positioning that often bends weak-side help. Analysts flagged the chess match on the glass, the Aces' attempts to run off rebounds, and the Suns' discipline in transition matchups. Those insights are the foundation of durable interest. Educating viewers deepens their connection and builds appreciation for the sport beyond headline names. Even so, the hard questions remain. If the league's most important game of the year struggles to sell out, what does that say about conversion from viral moments to sustained fandom? If social feeds are dominated by crowd shots and price screenshots more than highlights, how can future finals recenter the narrative? And if a single player's absence shifts both attendance and ratings, how can the WNBA diversify its must-watch inventory to ensure every marquee series has gravitational pull? The comparison to fever home games was unavoidable in the post-mortem. During the regular season, Indianapolis and visiting arenas saw inventory evaporate when Clark arrived, with secondary markets surging and in-arena buzz peaking. The league's digital channels capitalized on that momentum, celebrating milestones and pushing broadcasts to record numbers. Game 2 of the finals provided a counterpoint, a premium product that, for one night, didn't match that fever pitch. The takeaway is not that women's basketball can't command massive audiences without a single star. It's that doing so requires clear strategy, consistent storytelling, and an experience that feels like an event the moment fans walk in. For Wilson, the optics were difficult. She has carried the Aces with sustained excellence, earned the league's top individual honors, and consistently delivered in the biggest moments. Seeing the finals framed around empty seats rather than her performance would frustrate any competitor. Yet in the larger arc, this moment presents an opportunity. The WNBA can lean into its depth of talent, sharpen its event presentation, and deploy the lessons of the regular season to amplify its championship stage. whether or not the year's most viral rookie is involved. The conversation around Bonner and Thomas deserves equal weight. Both have carved out roles as tone-setters for the Sun, Bonner with big shot gravity, Thomas with a uniquely physical playmaking style that scrambles defensive coverages. Their presence in the finals should be a selling point in itself, a platform to showcase two veterans who have redefined roles within modern women's basketball. The league's content and broadcast partners can do more to position that value proposition in front of casual viewers who are still learning the landscape. Preliminary Game 2 ratings reportedly underscored the attendance story, with viewership trailing earlier playoff peaks that featured the Fever. Those early figures triggered predictable debate. Some fans argued that lulls are normal and cyclical. Even in men's leagues, finals matchups without certain stars sometimes underperform versus earlier rounds. Others viewed the drop as a warning sign that must be answered with tangible changes before next season. Earlier marketing of playoff dates and times, recalibrated pricing strategies, stronger regional promotion in host markets, and broadcast formats that better explain tactical battles to a broader audience. At the center of all of it is a simple, urgent question. Can the WNBA convert a historic influx of attention into durable, league-wide interest that elevates every marquee matchup? The answer does not rest on one player, one team, or one market. It rests on how the league, its clubs, and its partners package the finals as the culmination of a season-long narrative. It rests on whether fans can connect to multiple stars, understand why their skill sets clash in compelling ways, and feel that a championship game is an event they cannot miss. Game 2 highlighted the gap between potential and delivery. The basketball itself was worthy of a bigger stage. Wilson, Thomas, and Bonner brought the intensity and skill befitting a championship series. But the empty seats, the chatter about ticket prices, and the early ratings talk overwhelmed the discourse. That imbalance is fixable. It requires practical steps and consistent storytelling more than slogans. The league's growth is real, and the wave of new fans is a gift. Now comes the work of broadening the spotlight so that a finals without the season's most viral figure still feels like the can't-miss event it deserves to be. Where do you stand on Game 2? Did the atmosphere match the magnitude of the moment, or did the optics overshadow the basketball? Should the league recalibrate its marketing to spotlight more veterans alongside rising stars? Add your voice in the comments, share this report with fans of women's basketball, and subscribe for in-depth WNBA coverage, including attendance trends, ticket pricing analysis, and post-finals ratings breakdowns.